Host Agency Reviews, and this is the Friday 15. We are midway through April,
Yeah.
and today's co-host, no stranger to many of you, Jenn Lee. Hello, Jenn.
Hi, Miss Steph. And, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we're in the same house right now. We're actually right next to each other. Y'all don't realize it.
So Jenn and I built houses next. For those of you that are listening, imagine us with matching virtual backgrounds. We think we're
Yes.
really cute.
Yep.
Um, and we built houses next to each other exactly the same. So it's
Yeah.
super, super cute.
Love it. We can pass sugar anytime.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for those of you that are Friday 15 usuals, you know the drill. But if you have a question for us, we would love to answer it. You can go to hostagencyreviews.com/Friday15, and we will get to your questions in an upcoming session. So
Yes.
quick reminders, little things to chat about. One is our survey is going on. I'm going to link. Oh, actually, did I put this in my QR code? Oh, I did. Go me. Okay, if you're watching on video, you can scan the QR code. Otherwise, you can check in the show notes. There will be a link to take the survey. It goes through, I think, the beginning of June. So you've got some time, but get on it now, get it taken care of so that you can get that free report when they come out later this year. It's full of
Yes.
amazing, valuable information for you.
Absolutely. I love that report.
Yeah, I do too, Jenn. I love looking at those numbers.
I know. I'm
Um,
a, I'm a data nerd. I
I
love data.
know, I know, especially when you can like look at it in different ways. It's so fun.
I know.
Um, Other thing is we just published a new article, and this came because I was searching for Universal Studios Hollywood, trying to find a map of that location, which you think would be easy. And on their site, they indeed have a landing page for the map that's supposedly interactive, but it's not. So we just posted up a new blog with an actual map for Universal Studios Hollywood. If anyone else is having the same problem as me, we will link to it in the comments. It's a great thing you can put on your website from Universal Studios. And
Absolutely.
Jenn, so we have 3 questions from you from the audience, but I have a question for you because I saw a press release the other day about this thing called vacation planners that you are launching and
hmm
heading up. Can you tell us a little more about it?
Oh, Steph, thanks for asking. Yes, I am super excited. So, yes, the press release that Steph is referencing is after 36 years of us being in business at Travel Planners International as a host agency, we have decided that the industry is at a point where we want to make sure we're part of any business model that a travel advisor coming into this industry or one trying to level up their business. We want to make sure we have a business model for them. So, TPI, the
Mhm.
host agency, isn't going anywhere. They're still there. But I will be the president of Vacation Planners, which is a new franchise division. So, really excited. I'm actually only looking to bring on experienced advisors, partner with experienced advisors in the beginning as we grow the Vacation Planners consumer facing brand, which I'm really excited about. And we feel like we have a really, a fresh perspective and a different outlook on how a franchise partnership could be and should be. And so we're excited. We've got hundreds of people already on what I'm calling the hottest waiting list ever in the industry. So if you're interested, or even if you're just curious, you're like, I don't know, maybe I'd like a franchise. I was surprised by some of the people that were interested. You can just go to vacationplannersfranchise.com and get yourself on the hottest list in the travel industry.
Okay, and that's franchises with an S.com?
Franchise.
Oh,
You could
what's
probably just
okay.
put in vacationplanners.com and it'll probably go to the same one, but
Okay.
vacationplannersfranchise.com.
Perfect. We'll link to that in the show notes. This is great because now I can
Yeah.
send people this link. And we are officially adding vacation planners to a franchise profile on our site. So we will link
Yeah.
to that as well
Yeah.
for those of you that are interested. Jenn, that's very exciting. The
Yeah.
follow up question that I know everyone is asking is, will you still be on the Friday 15s, or what's happening to our matching house relationship?
Well, because I'll be the president of Vacation Planners, I have a feeling what's going to happen is I'm going to be opting into all kinds of things to make sure I'm still on the Host Agency Reviews site and family. We have hired industry veteran Dave Myhoffer. He just came from working with Celebrity Cruises for 11 years. He was our BDM, best BDM we've ever experienced, passionate about the advisor community. So he is my, quote unquote replacement, but we're calling it more of a successor. So he'll be doing some and I will be doing some. You can't get rid of
Ah,
him.
well,
I
this
like to
is
talk.
great because
Yeah.
I didn't know the answers to this, and I was, like, super sad for a second. I was like, "Am I gonna break everyone's heart?" I don't know. Like, what a
No,
terrible thing to
no.
do on a Friday.
It brings me my greatest joy to share information and help advisors. I don't care who you're with. So it's one of my joys in life. So you can't get rid of me, Steph.
Yay! That's great to hear. Um, well, let's see. So we got some questions. So this is from Anonymous. They are asking, what are your views on terms and conditions? I see so much talk about them, but do I need to invest in getting a custom terms and conditions for my agency? That seems crazy to me.
Well, my
Jen.
views on terms and conditions are you are a business owner, and to protect yourself and also to lay the foundation for your clients so that you have a good relationship with one another, especially when things don't go smooth sailing. Every business should have a terms and conditions. Now, the good news is if you are a member of ASTA, they have a free terms and conditions template that you can
Hmm.
actually download. Only members of ASTA. And I'll tell you what, I'll give anyone that's listening our code TPI50 to get $50 off your ASTA membership. And yeah, they have a terms and conditions. Now, what I would do is I would take that and then ask yourself, am I adding any fees in there? Do I have planning fees, cancellation fees, modification fees? Is there anything about my state that I need to be aware of? And again, if you're a member of ASTA, you can ask them that question and they'll be able to tell you, yes, your state has a little bit of a, there's some special things, especially California and Florida, right? So,
Mm.
yes, your state kind of has a couple of things you really want to be aware of. And for that, I would just connect with my local entrepreneur center, or you can go to LegalZoom. .com and LegalZoom. You could use the terms and conditions, and you can probably pay $100, $150 for a lawyer to jazz it up for you. Again, ASTA also has you have access to ASTA vetted travel advisor attorneys.
Yep.
So I would check that out as well. But let me share something with you. It's not ridiculous. If you are a business owner, you must have this. All you need is one person to say something, one thing to go wrong, and you didn't have a terms and conditions, and they can sue you. So it's worth it.
Mhm. Um, let's see, Jen, I know there used to be something when you're an ASTA member that with those attorneys, I can't remember what the
Mhm.
program was called. You get like 15% off or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
Is that
You
still
sure
going
do.
on? Okay,
You sure do.
cool.
Oh, can I give one other resource as well? If you don't want to join ASTA, or maybe you're already, or maybe I don't know, you should always join ASTA. But there's another resource. It's Travel Advisor Resource Center.
Mhm.
That is a resource center that was started actually by one of our top agency owners at TPI. But he has some resources on there as well, terms and conditions that have already been written by lawyers, and he does have a lawyer as well. So ASTA, ASTA.org, or Travel Advisor Resource Center, TARC.com, I think.
Man, we've got okay, so there's a lot of resources on this. We're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna link to ASTA. We're gonna put in Jen's code for TPI 50 for
Mhm.
50% off the ASTA membership, which is great.
$50, $50, $50, not 50%.
Oh, whoops. Got a little excited there. $50,
See?
which is only 25%, maybe a little bit less, but
Yeah,
still a great deal.
great deal.
Um, I'm also going to link to a couple of resources we have. So one of them is a list of travel industry attorneys.
Mhm.
The other is going to be we had Tom Carpenter. He wrote an article for us on
It was
those.
wonderful.
Yeah, Jen was talking about how when you're doing the service fees in different states, charging that comes with some the seller of travel registrations come into play
Right.
there. So I'm going to link to an article we have written by Tom Carpenter, who's a travel advisor and an attorney.
Mhm.
And that should answer your questions about those service fees and things like that. And then
Yep.
the other thing, we'll link to the Travel Agent Resource Advisor Resource Center. And we are also going to link to Travel Industry Solutions is run by I'm not sure if she's still selling travel, but a
Okay.
former travel advisor.
Mhm.
And they're essentially templates
Mhm.
for different industry things. So if you don't want to do the custom form, totally doable. You can either use the free form Asta has, or you could use something from Travel Industry Solutions, which has monthly costs associated with it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ooh, that was a lot of resources.
A lot of
Um,
resources out there. That's how important it is to keep, you've ever heard that, term, "Good paper makes for good friends"?
no.
Good paper makes for great friends, actually. That
Oh,
means good paper, getting things in writing, takes away, that potential super uncomfortable and costly scenario.
yes, exactly. I like good paper makes for good business because
Mhm.
friends make it sound like you're having your friends sign a contract to be in it with you.
I know, but if you have a business in the travel industry, chances are you know a lot about that family.
That's true. That's true. All right, so we got another question, and this is an interesting one because I've never
Mhm.
gotten this before.
Okay.
Hi, Steph. I signed up for a host agency on your site, and they asked me to Venmo over the payment to get started. He seems legitimate, but it has me worried. Is sending Venmo to a host agency normal? Jen, do you accept Venmo?
Not at TPI, we do not. I have a couple of questions. Are you joining a team that is with a host? As an example, one of our top agency owners, actually, many of our agency owners build their own teams, right? And within their teams, they may use Venmo, PayPal, Stripe, other forms of money acceptance. So I wouldn't be alarmed by that, but I would probably ask myself, is this a host agency that's on host agency reviews?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this a agency that is with a host agency, which you're going to find everywhere?
Yep. Yeah, that's a great question. And I would say I have not heard of anyone using Venmo yet, but I do think Jen's right. If it's a smaller shop, that may be
Mhm,
something that's a lot easier for them to set up. The
mhm.
thing I would check on then is how payments are made to you as well,
Yes.
um, from that host agency, just to kind of clarify things. So I wouldn't say it's a red flag by itself. If there's other
Mm-mm.
things that are kind of giving you like, you know, you looked
Well,
up their address and it's an empty lot somewhere. Don't be sending money to them, but, um
I think also, and Steph, that was a good point that you brought up. How are you getting paid? Do they have a terms and conditions? Are you signing a contract? Is it a independent contractor agreement? I would also really understand what constitutes a host agency in our industry. Kind of the standard is that this is an agency whose majority of their business is to support advisors as they sell travel. A
Mhm.
host agency has direct contracts with partners. A host agency has a staff, a team that is there to support you. You might be just confusing the word host agency with another agency joining their team, and so I would ask more about that.
Yeah, great questions. So we'll link to a couple things for you, anonymous. One is this, Jen brought up the contracts, and
Mhm,
take a look at that contract. We're going to link to our article about what to look for in the contracts with your host agencies, things that
mhm,
could be red flags, and
mhm,
things that if they're not in the contract, you want them to be specifically in the contract so that both
mhm,
you and the host agency are protected. And
mhm.
then we'll also link to one. It sounds like you already joined a host, but tips on looking for a host travel agency.
Yeah. Just make sure it's a real host. I don't
Yeah.
want you thinking one thing and something else is really going on, and that doesn't mean it's nefarious. It's just a host is very different than an agency.
Yep. And if you have any questions, anonymous, on this host agency, you can always
Mhm.
also email and give me or the team specifics here at HAR, and we can get back
Yeah,
to you on things.
great question.
All right. Next up is from Camilla S. First, I would like to say how helpful your website and podcasts are. Well, thank you so much, Camilla. That's very exciting. I listen to Spotify, watch the YouTube videos, and read all the articles every chance I get. Everything is so helpful. Thank you so much. This is just warm fuzzies, warm fuzzies. All right, here's the rest of the question, Jen. I am still in the process of finding the best host to join, and here's my question. I am Brazilian and US resident, and I was wondering if I could have customers from other countries, as Brazilians would be a huge network of clients for me visiting the US. So Do host agencies accept that, or does it depend on the agency? And then there's another question, but let's go with this one first, Jen.
Yeah, what I have found, first off, if I think you said she's a US citizen or dual,
Mhm.
she lives in
Yep.
the United States, you have a bank in the United States, all this stuff, so that's fine. I think it's really more along the lines of, does the travel partner or the supplier accept international payments? Because you are not the one, they're not paying you. They're providing you with their credit card, what have you, and their information, and you are booking it, actually completing that transaction on their behalf. So, from what I understand, it's mostly about how the partner that you are working with, and I'm talking about the cruise line, the resort. That's the kind of partner I'm talking about. Do they accept international payment? If they don't, then you have to ask, do they accept international clients? And if they don't, through the US, it might be because they have agreements in certain countries that they have travel agencies there and they have to keep that business there. So I think you need to ask a few more questions. I don't believe it is host agency specific, though.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Camilla. Definitely check in with the suppliers because some of
Hmm.
them with the exchange rate, they may not take any international cards or it may
Yeah,
have to be in a certain dollar amount. There's lots of nuances to that.
right.
So the follow-up question was, does the software of payment wait, do their software of payments accept international credit cards? Oh, she's already on top of this. Uh, does their software, taking payments accept international credit cards, current exchange? I would still be a US-based travel agency under a US-based host agency.
We
So,
answered that already.
yeah, I think we answered that already. Well,
Yeah,
we were just so ahead of ourselves,
we
Jen.
really were. And she's thinking as well.
Yeah. So, Camilla, hope that answers your question. And hopefully you can tap into some of that Brazilian network of yours for
Hmm.
inbound travel to the US.
Yeah.
Let's see, Jen. I
Hmm.
know when we usually wrap this up and I ask you ways for people to contact you, you mentioned the Fiercely Forward Facebook group.
Yep.
So I've got that ready to link.
Yep.
We're also going to link to your profile for people that want to learn a little bit more about TPI and
Yes.
vacation planners.
Yes. Learn about
And
both. You just never know.
yeah,
Don't let the word franchise scare you. Like I said, Steph, a lot of people, I mean, listen, I love the host agency model. That's, been my jam for 8, 9 years. But I recognize a lot of advisors, even really super experienced advisors, are like, I want a national brand that I can stand behind so I can focus on selling and really keep getting myself immersed in my local community while the brand
yeah.
is doing the work to kind of give brand recognition and bring that together. But our host agency, Travel Planners International, TPI, they rock, totally rock. So it's the same personality from TPI as well as
I can't
at
wait to see
Vacation
the
Planners.
brand. I can't wait to see the brand.
Yeah, well, go to vacationplannersfranchise.com and you'll get a sneak peek. That's it, just
Yay!
one page.
Okay, so actually I have a quick question for you on
Mhm,
follow-up for this. So with the franchises, there's kind
mhm,
of two ways a franchise can go. They can be a host franchise hybrid where everyone
mhm.
is still using the same accreditation number, or where the franchisee is required to have their own accreditation number. Which is it for you?
So the way it's going to work is we're going to still utilize TPI's IATA number. So it's all going to be under TPI's IATA number. And we're doing this so that our franchisees immediately have top tier commissions. And we
Hmm.
also are doing this, and this is where kind of our fresh perspective, new approach is TPI will be, we will use the agent support and accounting teams at TPI. So on the vacation planner side at the corporate level, I won't have to hire a whole bunch of back office people to help with that. I've already got that at TPI. So
Yeah,
they'll use our IATA number, which is the TPI IATA number. They'll use the vacation planners branding. What I like about it is we're really attracting experienced advisors because they recognize one of the things that we're going to be doing is there's a lot of advisors that are trying to retire. Like they're getting out there, they're getting old and they're trying to retire and they don't feel, listen, you're going to learn travel advisors are control freaks. They want to stay in control. And we dig that about them because that's what makes them so good. But when it comes to finally selling their business or transitioning out of their business, we are seeing that there's really not a safe avenue. And I don't mean safe from a financial standpoint. I mean safe from if I hand my babies over to somebody, am I guaranteed this person's going to take great care of them? Well, when you do that through our franchise avenue, we kind of ensure that that's happening because in the franchise world, there's a lot of standards
Yep.
that will be maintained. So it's
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's
perfect.
exciting.
Yeah, and I'm gonna link to our article that kind of explains more about what a travel franchise is because the
Mhm.
compensation levels, or the compensation route is a little bit different from
Mhm.
host agencies. So take a
Mhm.
look at that if you're interested. And
Absolutely.
Jen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, I'll be over later to swim in your pool.
Oh, sounds good. I'll just peek over mine and I'll make sure to bring the drinks.
Fabulous. Take care,
Excellent.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you again next week. Let's see, we have Outside Agents on as a co-host. May 3rd, I'm flying solo, which is going to be a little sad. And
Oh,
then Jen, you're going to be back May 10th,
yes,
again for another episode. So
that's
thanks,
right.
everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.